Hey, what's up everybody? Welcome to the Average Joe Dividends YouTube channel. In this video, I'm going to show you the 5 buys that I selected. I deposited $100 into my taxable M1 stock brokerage account, and we'll see what those 5 companies are, and we're also going to see what effect those fractional stock buys had on my dividend income. If you're new to the channel, please subscribe so you do not miss future videos. If you get any value from this video, please click the like button. It helps me out a lot. And what we're looking at right now, this is my taxable M1 stock brokerage account. This is about 15% of my total net worth. And just to show you, I'll go show you the holdings really quickly. If you're curious, I have 52 positions in here, but the main anchor is SCHD. That is the majority of this portfolio at almost 100,000 of it. You can see my cost basis, and here is the value of the portfolio. This does not include, it doesn't show the dividends in there, figuring that in, but I'll just scroll down. I'll also leave a link below so you can see what these companies are and what percent allocation I have within this portfolio. So you can see these are grouped from largest to smallest. I'm going to go back to the portfolio tab. We'll just do a little bit of history on this. Over the past 3 months, you can see we are still up 1.73%, even with the bad news of the economy with the jobs reports, as well as inflation, of course, that's been going on for some time. We can see that over the last month, the portfolio is down 1.43%. No surprise at all. And then the last week is really the worst of it. And we'll look at today. And we've been kind of on an upward trajectory. Let's see, from the low here on August 5th. And then we've made a few bumps up. So a lot of people were panicking and thinking, here we go, it's going to go into a depression or whatever. I think those people are just trying to get clicks, but who knows though, we could very well have a 10, 20, 30% kind of a downturn, or we could head right back up and be at all-time highs again. And we're pretty close still to the high watermark that I had of the stock market. We were just below that, and we'll look into that a little bit later in the video. But let's go ahead and we'll take a look at the activity log. We're going to see what those picks were. In the first part of the week, I let M1 do the picking, and that's based upon my holdings and the allocation I select for each of those. And I'm going to scroll down here and show you the slice. I have 3 slices: the ETFs, the dividend portfolio, which has most of my individual positions, and there's 12 more individual positions in this slice here. And you can see how they're weighted. So if I were to deposit money, it's going to go into this slice. As you see, it is underweighted by 0.3%. This is overweighted by 0.1, overweighted by 0.1. So we'll see likely where it's going to be headed. I have a feeling, just because of the tech stocks going down, it's going to probably go into, yes, BST, which has gotten hammered lately because of Nvidia dropping other tech stocks. Well, value stocks have been recovering with SCHD. They're kind of a yin and a yang a little bit, but they also provide good income. So let's jump back to the activity log, and we'll see what those buys were. One of them is going to be a dividend drip. You can see Lowe's here. Just for waking up in the morning, I received a Lowe's dividend of $7.16, and I have it set to automatic drip. So we're going to see the next dividend for Lowe's go up, and of course, as well as the other 5 buys that I selected. So we'll click here and see what those are. And it's $20 a piece for each of those. And it's going to buy a fractional share of those. And depending on how much the shares cost, it's going to vary how much of a fractional share I get. So first up is Pinnacle West, $20. Digital Realty, $20. Lockheed Martin, $20. And then Lowe's, that's that dividend drip. And then Microsoft, $20. And then Kroger, $20. You can see, utilities. This is a REIT here with like data centers, and here's like a defense contractor, and then Microsoft, tech stock, obviously good growth stock, doesn't pay a big dividend, but they grow the dividend pretty well. And then Kroger, of course, grocery store. So we're going to see here in a minute what effect these buys had on my dividend income. But before I get into that, let's go to my Google Docs spreadsheet, and I track the 52 positions on this sheet, and so I can kind of see what the next dividend's going to be, as well as what kind of income I've gotten from these investments, and as well as performance as well. You can see, like in Nvidia, I was fortunate to pick that one up when it was pretty low. You can see right here, my average share price on Nvidia is $13.83. Of course, it was 10 times that, but there was a 10-to-1 split. So I bought it at 138, and then they did the 10-to-1, so it's now $13.83. But you can see here the company ticker symbol share price, the average share price I've paid for each position. Here's the shares that I own, and here's the market value, and then the cost basis for me, and here's the gain or loss, and here's the gain or loss expressed in a percentage. Anything above 10% is going to be in that green. Anything below it is going to be white. Anything negative, like Starbucks, is going to be in the red. And then we have the quarterly dividends per share in the white. And I have SCHD marked as purple because it's a variable. Every quarter they change it. And then I have 2 monthly paying stocks, O Realty and Black or BST over here. So those are my 2 monthly pairs. And then the yield percentage, you can see anything above 5% is going to be in green. And if I have a yield on cost above 5% as well, it also is green. You can see, for example, let's see some that, like for example, Exxon, you can see the current yield is at 3.24%, but my yield on cost is at 8.32, so you can see it's in the green. And the reason for that is I bought this back in 2020. Around March is where I picked up most of these 12 shares at $45. You can see where we're at right now. So that's why that yield on cost is so much higher. But you'll see the inverse on like a Starbucks, where it's better to buy shares right now. The yield is higher than when I bought it, because I bought my average share price of Starbucks is $88.42. So you can see some of those, one of these is a little bit in reverse. And then pay date, everything on the sheet is arranged by pay date. And we can see also the dividends I've received so far. I've received $73.27 so far in the month of August. And we can see here the total dividends each position has paid me, as well as the last increase. For example, in September last year, Verizon raised their dividend by 2%, but you can see like Costco in April raised their dividend by 13%, American Express 16%, and some of them don't raise their dividend every year. I have those marked in VAR or variable, or on the other hand, they raise their dividend multiple times, so there isn't a set month when they raise their dividend. And let's see here. So we have that. We have the last increase month. I have that listed. We're going to scroll down here. Here's the market value of my portfolio if I were to sell right now. Here's my cost basis. Here's my gain or loss, and that includes dividends over $50,000. Here's my average yield percentage of the portfolio and the yield on my cost in the portfolio. And then we can see here I had to build a little array for BST and O, since they are going to pay me 3 times for the quarter. I had to add them in twice to get the quarterly total. And you can see that math right there. That's what this is for. And then here is tracking the monthly cash flow average as well as the quarterly and annual. You can see this portfolio pays over $12,000 in dividends. I can just sit back and collect over $12,000 from this portfolio and do nothing, and actually let it grow, because you can see all these companies that are increasing their dividends, and if I drip it back in the portfolio especially, this is just going to keep going up and up even if I don't deposit another dime into this portfolio. And you can see here my strategy right now is to deposit $100 twice a week, and Monday and Friday, and today's Thursday, so I'm just doing this early because I'm leaving town, so sometimes I'll do it on a Thursday. And the dividends right now are reinvested into the company that paid them, and if a dividend is cut or suspended, that stock will be sold. And I'm a buy and hold investor. Here are some of my goals. Some of them have been completed. 1,200 shares of SCHD. We're getting really close to that with SCHD at 1175, so just need 25 more shares of SCHD for that goal. And I crossed this off, but we've gone back down. You can also see my thumbnail makes a liar out of me because this portfolio was above the $250,000 mark, but we've dipped down with the the bad week. We're at 247 right now, but who knows? It could keep going down further, or it could go above that 250 line. And then I have a goal of a current net worth of 1.75. We're kind of close to that. We'll see if we could continue to go down or go up. We'll see how the rest of 2024 goes. And 2,000 shares of BST. We're pretty close to that as well at 1938 shares. So getting close to that one. And of course, this one corresponds. If I have 2,000 shares of BST, I will get $500 a month. And here's what I was talking about with the high watermark of VTI, which is Vanguard's total stock market index ETF. We're just off 0.04% off of the high watermark that I put last time, which is 259.90. And SCHD is off of their all-time high of 82.48. And both of these did go to a new high watermark, but it was just slightly above the last one, so I didn't change it. So we're really not far off from those highs really at all. So what we're going to do next is we're going to update this sheet, and we're going to grab some data before we time out over on M1. I'm going to go to the Holdings tab. I'm going to show you something pretty cool where I can just copy and paste everything over here and paste it into my sheet. And again, I'll leave a link below to this sheet so you can see how it works with VLOOKUPs. What it's going to do is it's going to update the average share price, number of shares, and my cost basis for all my shares in here, but only 6 positions change. Remember my 5 buys and the lows, dividend drip. And what it's going to do too is it's going to change the next dividend for Kroger, Pinnacle West, Microsoft, Lockheed Martin, and Digital Realty, as well as Lowe's. And they're not going to go up by a whole bunch because remember, Lowe's, I'm just stripping in $7.16. It's probably going to go up to like $7.19, $7.20 for the next dividend there. And then these are just going to go up a little bit too because it's only $20 each for these 5 positions. But we're going to see the monthly cash flow average change as well as the quarterly and annual, but I do track the monthly on my monthly average dividend tracking tab. So we're going to put that in here. Down here, we're going to put the new value. I'm going to put a new entry in. What I do is I put 2 entries in. Yeah, we're going to do this a little bit differently. We're going to put them in as 1 entry instead of 2. We're going to put the $100 deposit and the Lowe's dividend drip. So we're going to combine them rather than do them as individuals. So we're going to see how that's going to change. The 1,373 is going to go up, and we're going to have the difference in the change in the monthly dividend. So let's go over here. We're going to go with the M1 data tab. We're going to paste that information that we grabbed from M1, do a paste special values only. And what it does is it puts everything into a single column. What I'm doing is I'm then aligning the shares, the cost, and the average price. That I'm just digging out this information from here. Let's go back. So I'm pulling the shares, the average share price, and the cost basis. I'm just pulling those 3 data sets from this sheet, and I'm aligning them, and I'm doing VLOOKUPs over here in the dividend portfolio tab. So we're going to go back over here. So for example, the number of shares is using a VLOOKUP, and it's looking for KR for that. Same with the cost basis and the average share price. So we can see that's changed slightly here, and we've got new dividends we're going to have for Kroger. And of course, the rest of these, it's going to be the same dividend unless that company cuts their dividend or they increase it. But Kroger's been increasing their dividend, and these companies below have also been doing it for a long time. I haven't had a dividend cut for quite a while. They've been increases, and I'll show you on the monthly average dividend tracking tab what I'm talking about. So next dividend for Kroger will be $5.21, And then Pinnacle West going from 775 to 796. And then Microsoft 566 to 570. And 4 cents, but look at Microsoft only pays a 0.75% dividend, but they have a dividend increase coming in September. Hopefully it's at 10%. And then next up, Lockheed Martin from 473 to 485. And then we can see Lowe's. I remember I said 719, so it looks like 720. So it's going to be a little bit better than that, adding 4 cents just with that dividend drip there. And then last up is Digital Realty from 811 to 828. So in September 30th, I'll get 828 instead of 811 because they've already declared their new dividend there. And then we can see then 1,396. That is what my new monthly cash flow average is. Of course, the quarterly and annual went up as well. So we're going to record the 1,396 over here. And we'll see what that difference is. So added 23 cents with a $100 deposit and Lowe's dividend drip. But you can see all these different transactions. Just take a look at, we're only on the 8th day of August, and we've had these transactions so far, and we can see what they are. With BST, JP Morgan dividend drip, see if that was more significant, added $3.38 to my ongoing monthly income. And these aren't one times, these are going forward every month, so they keep stacking on top of each other, and this number keeps growing. So you can see, Verizon drip, $100 deposit, $100 deposit here. Illinois Toolworks, they increased their dividend by 7%, so it added 19 cents. And then PNC had a dividend drip, and then of course the last one, the 23 cents. So we'll go to my dividend tracker tab, and I've been doing these videos since January 2021, and we can see what the starting portfolio value was, dividends paid. I'm going to scroll down here. I'm going to get to the more recent time here, and I'm going to update the dividends paid in August because we had Lowe's pay. So let me update that really quick. So 73.27. So there we are in August. You can see here's the portfolio value, and you can see July where we closed out at $255,000. That's rounded to the nearest $100, and then we're down to $247. So that's what the market does. It goes up and down. It could keep going down. You can see it just moved because this is live right now. This sheet is, and we'll go over here. Here is the monthly average dividend. You can see we're over $1,000, and we broke that from July. And just so far in the month of August 2024, we've added an additional $5.02. Again, that's stacking on top of what my monthly dividends are already. So you can see just in 8 days what we've done, added a month-over-month gain of the income at 0.5%. And we can see here's the annual dividends now at $12,047. And then the annual increase, $60.28. I put in another $100 there. So to close it out, we'll go over to my total net worth statement over here. And it's gone down from the last week, but it still looks pretty good. So like I said before, the M1 portfolio, this is 15% of my total net worth. If it will reload here, 247, 993, 994, it keeps changing. That is represented right over here. And there's a little bit a disconnect in the time from when Google grabs data and when M1. That's the reason for that difference. But I'll show you what the rest of my net worth is wrapped up in. And it's really in boring ETFs from Vanguard. I have an IRA, a small Roth IRA, and taxable brokerage account in very boring ETFs over at Vanguard. And I'll do a sum total value of that. So $423,932 over there. This is my current employer. I have a 401k, and it is in nothing but a Fidelity S&P 500 index. And then over at M1, I also have an IRA. valued at $633,960, and this is from prior employment. These were 401ks that I just transferred over to an IRA over to M1. And then here's my emergency fund. This is, over a year's worth of expenses for me. And this is kind of my long-term savings in case something were to happen, I can't work or whatever. I have it over there. It makes me sleep much better at night knowing I have that nest egg. And then here's some more shorter-term savings. This is approximately over 2 months of expenses over here at Capital One. And then here are my liabilities. My credit cards, they have a zero balance. I paid them off, so I carry no credit card balances. But here's my only liability, and that is a home mortgage at 6.25%. And I'm looking to pay that off sooner than later, hopefully within the next 2-3 years. I'd like to get that to zero and just have to only worry about property taxes and maintenance. We can see my total net worth right now still over the 1.6 million mark. It was at the high 1.6, more like 1.66, 1.67 before the market kind of took a tumble last week. And we can see how that's broken down into stocks, home equity, and cash there. And I've also split it out by pre-tax, IRAs, 401k, to after-tax. This is what I can actually touch and get my hands on without penalty. And here's the breakdown between US and international. So that closes out this video. I'll go back really quick and show you what the buys were. Again, what I'm buying is not investment advice. These are just 5 picks of stocks where I wanted to add a little bit more to those positions. Again, they are Pinnacle West Digital Realty, Lockheed Martin, Microsoft, and Kroger. This here at Lowe's, that was a dividend drip. Let me know in the comments below what you guys are buying, and also let me know what you guys think of these picks. I hope everyone has a great rest of their week. Everybody, take care.